coaches and referees must be able to recognise the signs and symptoms of concussion and know what to do.
Let's start with the basics. How does a concussion happen? A concussion can result from a direct hit to the head or body. This causes the head to move rapidly or stop suddenly, causing the brain to bounce and twist inside the skull. The damage causes the brain to release chemicals which affect how it works.
The good news is, if managed properly, the player should make a complete recovery.
If a player was allowed to carry on even with a suspected concussion, their performance will drop. We know that their reaction time and ability to make good decisions will be impaired. They'll also risk sustaining a further injury. A second knock to the head before they're 100% could see them suffering more severe and prolonged symptoms, and in a worst case scenario could prove fatal.
That's where the 4 R's come into play. They stand for:
Recognise the signs and symptoms of a concussion. Remove, get the player out of the game or training if you suspect concussion. Recover, seek medical attention and follow the graduated return to play. Return, get back to full participation.
If a player has any of the following red flag symptoms after a hit or fall, they must seek urgent medical attention:
Athlete complains of neck pain,
increasing confusion or irritability,
repeated vomiting,
seizure or convulsion,
double vision,
weakness, tingling or burning in arms or legs,
deteriorating conscious state,
severe or increasing headache,
unusual behaviour change. Other symptoms are covered in the Concussion Card Guide, which you can get from your provincial union. They include what you see as a coach or referee and what players might say and how they feel. These cards are small and easily slipped in your pocket. Become familiar with the information and share with your whole rugby family.
These symptoms may not occur right away. They could develop 24 to 48 hours after the event. Remember, you don't have to be knocked out to be concussed. Less than 10% of people lose consciousness.
And please take extra care with children and teenagers. They're more sensitive to concussions. Their symptoms may take longer to develop and more time to recover.
And remember, if in doubt, sit them out. New Zealand Rugby guidelines for concussions are: for players 19 years and older, they cannot return to contact training for 21 days.
And for players under 19 years, it's 23 days.
That's because younger brains are still developing and take longer to recover from injury. And take note, these are all minimum requirements because every player recovers differently.
Before any player returns to any contact training, they must have completed the graduated return to play protocol, be symptom-free and cleared by a doctor.
During the rest stage, the player should avoid all screens like TVs, phones and tablets, physical activity, and based on symptoms, school or work.
Light aerobic exercise. This stage should be guided by the player's symptoms. Any exercise or mental stimulation that makes symptoms worse should be avoided.
If at any stage a player develops symptoms, they must return to the previous stage, where they will spend one more day. If the symptoms are no longer present, they can reattempt the next stage.
But treat these timeframes as the minimum. Depending on symptoms, some players may need to spend longer in each stage.
When asked who they would first report their concussion symptoms to, 94% of players answered their coach. This highlights the important role that you, as coaches, play in looking after your players.
You have to educate your players about the negative impact concussions can have on their performance, and that in order for them to be at their best, they need to come off, be assessed, and follow the graduated return to play protocol.